Hello, everyone. On this podcast episode, I'm going to talk about cold and hot. And I'm going to talk about, science again. And this episode is merely theoretical, you know. Although I believe it's a fact, because we can't prove it, I really don't care, you know. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not really a scientist to begin with. Since I'm not a scientist, I'll let the scientists do what do their job. But what I want to state is that scientists state that an atom, when an atom gets to absolute zero, it stops moving, right? But the truth is, I want to challenge that finding, you know, by first explaining what hot and cold is. When an atom vibrates, right? The more an atom vibrates, the hotter it gets. The less an atom vibrates, the colder it gets. So hot and cold, right? For most people who don't know what being hot is. When something gets hot, the atoms inside your body vibrates more. When something gets cold, the atoms move less. So the more an atom moves, the hotter it gets. The less an atom moves, the colder it gets. And absolute zero is when an atom stops moving completely, right? But if you follow the laws of duality, right? The law of duality states that the equal and opposites must exist simultaneously as one. For example, at absolute zero, right? Atoms should stop moving, right? But that's what scientists say. They say that, once you get to absolute zero, atoms should stop moving. But the truth is, if you follow the laws of duality, the equal and opposite must be true. It means that absolute zero is also when the energy within the atom is moving the most. So, just like the earth, right? If you follow the laws of duality, the earth is both moving and not moving at the same time, right? And is the truth. You don't need to go outside of the planet Earth to realize that the earth is moving. Because if you follow the rules of duality, it states that the earth is moving and not moving at the same time. Both opposites must exist simultaneously as one. Perspective determines what's moving and what's not moving. From the perspective of a human being living on planet Earth would never appear to be moving. Ever. From the perspective of someone living on Mars, planet Earth is always moving. So if you're someone who understands duality, you notice that planet Earth is both moving and not moving at the same time. Perspective determines whether it's moving or not. Just like a magnet. A magnet is both positive and negative at the same time, simultaneously as one. Because a magnet is both positive and negative, a magnet is neither positive nor negative. Since a magnet is both positive and negative, its equal and opposite must also exist. It means a magnet is neither positive nor negative. And let me explain this to you. I explained this before. A magnet can attract things, right? A magnet can repel things. And a magnet can neither attract nor repel. Is that not true? A magnet can repel objects. You put the negative end of a magnet to another negative end of another magnet, right? They'll repel each other. If you put the positive end of a magnet to the negative end of another magnet, they'll attract. If you hold a magnet will neither attract nor repel you. All three states exist simultaneously as one within a magnet. Because a magnet can both attract and repel, a magnet can also neither attract nor repel objects. This is how this world works as well. A magnet can attract certain objects. A magnet can repel certain objects. And a magnet can neither attract nor repel certain objects. And that's how, Earth is as well. From one point of view, the Earth is flat, right? From the point of view of humans living on planet Earth, when you look around you, the Earth is flat. From the point of view of someone in outer space, someone on the moon, the Earth is round. Because there's two perspectives. The Earth is both flat and round. And because the Earth is both flat and round, there's another perspective. There's a perspective where the Earth is neither round or flat. But humans will never see that perspective. Humans on Earth would never see the Earth as flat, as round, I mean. Humans on Earth would never see the Earth as round. They'll only see a flat Earth. Humans on the moon will never see a flat Earth. They'll see a round Earth. Because the perspectives of shift, that shift will be a permanent shift. While you're on Earth, you'll never notice the Earth move. You'll never feel the Earth moving, no matter how much you try. No matter how much you try, you'll never feel the Earth move. While you're on the moon, you'll always see the Earth moving. You'll never see the Earth stop moving once. The two opposites exist simultaneously as one within the Earth. The Earth is both moving and not moving at the same time. And that's how you need to see atoms as well. From my perspective, the colder an atom gets, the less it stops moving. But that's our perspective. From a different perspective, an atom is always moving. The more an atom stops moving, from my perspective, the more it moves from a different perspective. And this is how this world works. It's a world where perspective determines our reality. This is why people who, flat earthers who live on Earth will never agree that when scientists say that the Earth is round. Flat earthers will never agree that the Earth is round or that the Earth is moving. Why? They don't experience any movements. From their perspective, the Earth is round. When they look outside, when they stand on top of a mountain and look out, in front of them, they see a flat Earth. They see a flat Earth and they see an Earth that's not moving at all. And that perspective would never change. As long as they're on planet Earth, they will always see a flat Earth. As long as they're on planet Earth, the Earth would never move. So does it mean that the Earth is not moving? Just because you can't measure the Earth's movement, doesn't mean the Earth is not moving. They'll see the sun move around the Earth. They'll see the moon move around the Earth. But they'll never see the Earth move. This is why in the past, many people believe that the constellations, the sun and the moon, they all revolved around the Earth. Why? Because they're stuck, in one perspective. Just like scientists, we are stuck in one perspective. And that perspective shows us that an atom isn't moving when it gets to absolute zero. But that's only our perspective. Just like flat earthers believe that, the Earth is not moving, scientists are believing that an atom is standing still when it gets to absolute zero. When if you follow the rules of duality, the equal and opposite must also be true. The moment an atom stands still is also when it moves the most. The coldest point of an atom, it's also when it's the hottest. The equal and opposites must exist simultaneously as one, just like a magnet. A magnet will always be positive and negative. No matter how much you cut a magnet in half, it will always be positive and negative. These two states must exist simultaneously as one. Just like what? Light. Light is both a particle and a wave. If quantum physics didn't show that, people will still think light is just a wave. They will never see the other perspective. They'll always see the light as a wave or as a particle, depending on what they found first, depending on what perspective they're in. If quantum physics didn't show that light is both a particle and a wave, they will never have noticed it. Just like flat earthers. Flat earthers still believe till this day that the world is flat, because that's all they see. When they open their eyes and look around them, they see a flat earth. So just because you see a flat earth doesn't mean the earth is flat. Just because you see a round earth doesn't mean the earth is only round. Just because you don't see the earth move, does it mean the earth is not moving? Just because you see the earth move, does it mean the earth is moving? Yes. The earth is both moving and not moving at the same time. The earth is both flat and not flat at the same time. And this is how our world works. Light is both a particle and a wave simultaneously. The sun is both hot and cold simultaneously. A black hole is both cold and hot simultaneously, just like the sun. The black hole is the reverse of a sun. The sun emits light. The black hole sucks in all light and emits probably dark energy. The sun emits energy, a black hole emits dark energy. We can't detect dark energy, so we assume a black hole doesn't release anything. We can't detect dark energy, so we don't realize that the sun may be absorbing dark energy. Because we can't detect dark energy, we assume the sun may not be absorbing anything. But the sun could be absorbing dark energy, we may not know. But this world is a world where equal and opposites exist. And they must exist simultaneously as one. So the colder an atom gets, the less it moves, and also the more it moves at the same time. The hotter an atom gets, the more it vibrates, and also the less it vibrates at the same time. Perspective determines our reality. Since scientists are stuck from one perspective, right? Scientists are stuck in the perspective of an atom, slowly stopping its movement, right? When an atom gets to absolute zero, it means that atom has stopped moving, right? Scientists are stuck from that point of view. Just like flat earthers are stuck while on Earth. They're stuck seeing the Earth as flat. While you're on planet Earth, standing on the ground, you always see the Earth as flat. Whether you want to or not, you don't get a choice. And when you're on Mars, right, you always see the Earth as round. You don't have a choice. You always see the Earth as round. When you're planet Earth, the Earth would never appear to be moving. You don't have a choice. As long as you're on planet Earth, as long as you're on this perspective, the Earth would never appear to be moving. Just like what? An atom at absolute zero. An atom at absolute zero would not appear to be moving. Just like the Earth would not appear to be moving while you're on planet Earth. But if you shift your perspective, just shift your perspective to the moon. You stand on the moon and everything changes. The Earth is no longer flat and the Earth is always moving. And you never see the opposite, because while on the moon, the Earth will always be round to you and the Earth will always be moving. And that's how this world works. Perspective determines a lot. And that's what we need to understand. From one perspective, an atom isn't moving. From another perspective, an atom is always moving. And these two dualities must exist simultaneously as one within an atom. Just like it is within our earth. If you lay down, on your bed at night, lay down on the ground, right? If you lay down on the ground and you stay still, from your perspective, you're not moving at all, right? From the perspective of the sun, you're always moving. From the perspective of the atoms in your body, the atoms in your body are always vibrating. They're always moving. From the perspective of humans, you're not moving at all. You're laying down still. You are still as a rock. If you see a rock, laying down on the ground, you never see that rock move, right? Because from your perspective, the rock doesn't move, just like an atom. But from the perspective of what? Of the sun, the rock is always moving. It is moving along with the earth. And from the perspective of atoms, the rock is always vibrating. It doesn't appear to be moving, right? From the point of view of a human, a rock that's right there sitting on the ground is not moving. Yet, scientists tell you that that rock is always vibrating. It is always shaking. It is always moving. It just doesn't appear to be moving from our perspective. And perspective can be deceiving. The fact that it's not moving from our perspective proves that it must be moving from a different perspective. The fact that the sun is absorbing energy proves that it's releasing energy at the same time. Because these two dualities must exist simultaneously as one. A rock is both moving and not moving at the same time. The sun is both absorbing energy and releasing energy at the same time. A black hole is both absorbing energy and also releasing energy at the same time. Just because we don't know what energy a black hole is releasing does not mean a black hole is not releasing energy. It has to be releasing energy. But we're stuck from the perspective of a black hole is not releasing energy. Just like we're stuck with the perspective that at absolute zero, an atom stands still. It doesn't. It can't. And also does at the same time. An atom at absolute zero stops moving and also moves the greatest at the same time. The moment an atom gets to absolute zero is when an atom moves the most. And it's also when an atom moves the least. Movement and non-movement exist simultaneously as one. The moment something moves, it proves that it's not moving at all. The fact that something is not moving proves that it's always moving. When everything moves at the same direction and at the same speed, nothing will be moving. And that's, the perfect example is the earth. Because everything in the earth is moving at the same direction and the same speed, the earth will never appear to be moving. That's how this world works. And when everything is standing still, it means everything is moving at the same direction and at the same speed at the same time. That's why it appears as if it's not moving. That should tell you an atom only appears to be standing, to be non-moving from our perspective. From a different perspective, it is always moving. Because movement and non-movement exist simultaneously as one. They have to. Just like light is both a particle and a wave, these two opposites exist simultaneously as one. An atom is both one and many, both one continuous wave and many tiny particles. Perspective determines whether light is a particle, tiny little particles, separate particles, or one long wave. One. This world is that weird world where nothing makes logical sense, yet everything makes perfect sense. This is a world where everything appears random, yet there's nothing random about this world. This is a world where a magnet will always be positive and negative simultaneously. This is a world where the earth will always be flat and round simultaneously. This is a world where the earth will always be moving and not moving simultaneously. This is a world where we both exist and do not exist at the same time. This world is weird, and it has always been weird. There's always an equal and opposite to every point of view. Just because something appears to not be moving does not mean it's not moving. And just because something appears to be moving does not mean it's not moving, it's moving. Just because something appears to be moving does not mean it's moving. And this is how our world works. So that's it for today's podcast episode. I pray for everyone's safety and understanding. Amen.